Hello, everyone. This is Sean from Lost in the Reel.
And I'm Dan from the Upside Dan. Today we are going to be doing a spoiler-filled review of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Awesome. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Godzilla vs. Kong is on HBO Max and in theaters now.
The film is written by Eric Pearson and Max Borenstein and directed by Adam Wingard. It stars Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, Eiza Gonzales, and Damien Bechir. The epic next chapter in the cinematic Monsterverse pits two of the greatest icons in motion picture history against one another, the fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong, with humanity caught in the balance. Okay, so let's start off this discussion with what team were you on, Dan?
I was Team Kong. Yeah, what team were you on?
I was Team Kong as well. I was hoping that we would be battling it out,
Uh,
Godzilla versus Kong style, but no, I was Team Kong as well going in. So, how do you think this battle played out?
I thought the battle played out very well. It's amazing monster action, exactly what we wanted from the Monsterverse. What did you think?
I was so impressed. That's probably the biggest thing about this film that I was happy with was the battle scenes between Godzilla and Kong. Pretty much all of the action scenes were so well done. This is such a beautiful looking film. The camera work, the shots, the CGI is fantastic. So it definitely did not disappoint with the action, which I can't say about King of the Monsters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said. It was such a beautifully looking film. The CGI was really good,
Mhm.
except for maybe the rockets. Maybe I'm the only one. I thought the rockets looked kind of odd.
I see what you're saying, actually. The
Like,
rockets were a little wonky looking. They looked like from an 80s sci-fi movie, kind of.
yeah, yeah. But no, the Kong and Godzilla stuff was just absolutely breathtaking.
Definitely. So one thing that people have been complaining about with this MonsterVerse is the human characters. So let's talk about the human characters a little bit.
Okay, so yeah, I was still bored with them. I just was like, can we just get to Godzilla and Kong? And it's fun. It's not funny, but I love the actors that they cast for this MonsterVerse, but they just are boring. What did you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel the same. They have not learned their lesson after it's four movies in now, and the human characters are not interesting. Honestly, but this is just my opinion. I think that the human characters in Kong Skull Island were out of all four films that had the best ensemble of characters that at least interested me. Here, like Alexander Skarsgård, like okay, what like we get like a teeny little backstory of him and like yes he lost his brother. I guess they were both working on this hollow earth, getting there. We get a little bit of that, but it just like I did not care for his character at all, and I really like Alexander Skarsgård.
I actually was looking. I was like, do we know his brother from another Monsterverse movie? I don't think we did. But but yeah, no, I agree with the Kong Skull Island thing too. Those are my favorite set of characters. For this one, I'm so glad because it would have been even more unnecessary human stuff that they didn't try to do a Rebecca Hall and Alexander Skarsgård romance. But yeah, I guess the best human character was I liked the girl that she had at least a relationship with Kong and a fondness of him. I thought that was the best human aspect.
Yeah, the whole entire movie, I was thinking, I was like, okay, they need to like deconstruct this monster verse and maybe just have a movie. Like, if this movie had just been Godzilla, Kong, and Little Girl, like that was the only human character that we really got to know, that would have been really cool because I did connect with that little girl because of her connection with Kong. So the whole time I'm like, we don't need Rebecca Hall, we don't need Alexander Skarsgård,
Mhm.
we definitely didn't need Millie Bobby Brown and Brian Tyree Henry. That just seemed like a whole throwaway. What were your
Yeah,
thoughts on that storyline?
no, I agree. And every time we got to them, I wanted to go back to Rebecca Hall and Alexander Skarsgård. I preferred them them, and I'm a big fan of Millie Bobby Brown, obviously, because I love Stranger Things,
Mhm.
and but the comedy with them didn't really work. Comedy in this Monsterverse in general doesn't really work for the most part. Kong Skull Island is the best, I would say, and but yeah, no, their storyline was boring. And I didn't care. Yeah,
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And they tried to like give Brian Tyree Henry's character a little bit of heart. Like he lost his wife and he holds that, thing, that flask of whiskey in the gun holster and stuff.
yeah,
That so it was out of left field. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I get they're trying to help us care a little bit more about these characters. I just think they're going about it in the wrong way.
yeah. Me too. I agree. Did they even say that she died? Did they say how she died?
No, he just
Because
lost her.
I was gonna say it'd at least be better if he connected it to his job, or like Godzilla
Mhm.
killed her, or something like that.
That's where I was thinking that they were going with it, like that Godzilla had killed her, and then they didn't say anything, or at least, I mean, if you did know anything more, or you heard something that we didn't, please let us know in the comments down
Yeah,
below, because I would love for that connection to have happened. I didn't see it when I just watched it, and that definitely would have connected her and that backstory to the movie a lot better.
yeah. And Kyle Chandler was like underused too, which was fine
A
because
good, like, what, 3 minutes?
yeah, yeah, which is fine. Yeah, I don't. It's like they learned their lesson in some aspects about the human characters. They tried to just rush their storylines, but they rushed them too much, and we don't care at all. We don't even care about a little bit.
Yeah, and my biggest qualm with that, I actually did like Rebecca Hall's character, but she needs to like keep a leash on the little girl because she just kept losing her
Yeah,
over and over and over again. And also, how, like, she's not the little girl's mother. Like, what was her relationship with the little girl?
yeah. No, I think she her parents died on a Kong thing or something, and she just took over, I guess, took custody of her or something. And
Yeah,
they also put that girl. I was surprised that they brought the girl with them into the um underworld, whatever it's called. What's it called?
Hollow Earth,
Hollow Earth. Yeah,
Hollow World. What I think it was
Hollow
Hollow
Earth.
Earth.
Hollow Earth, Hollow Earth. Yeah, I just couldn't think of the name. Yeah, I was surprised that if it's so dangerous to go with light speed or whatever into it, I'm surprised they brought her. I get it though, because if Kong went haywire or something, she could have stopped something, But
Yeah, I was thinking about that the whole time. I'm like, they are really putting this little girl in harm's way on a very constant basis.
yeah,
But I guess, like, with Eiza Gonzales being like the villain, she would have been like, no, we need her to come with us,
yeah,
but nothing like that ever transpired. We never had like a conversation that happened like, we need the girl to come with us, so obviously you can just infer it, but it was
yeah.
very worrisome that they kept bringing her along for the ride.
I know. I loved when Kong crushed Eiza Gonzales and her in the ship. That
Another
was great.
very underdeveloped character here, and I love
Yeah.
Eiza Gonzalez.
Yes, me too. And that whole scene in Hollow Earth, I was like, okay, but we only have a little bit left. He has to get to Hong Kong to fight Godzilla, like we've seen in the trailers. How is he going to get to Hong Kong from here? And then they just opened Hollow Earth from there. But
That was interesting. That was like a
yeah,
very like quick segue into Hong
yeah,
Kong.
yeah, yeah. So I know I mentioned that a lot of the comedy did not land. Most of the comedy did not land, but I will say there was a couple little things. I liked the store when they went to the store to look for bleach, and he said, "Oh, are you those kids trying to do a viral challenge again?" I
Yeah,
sold them iPads. I'm still working on the lawsuit from that. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah,
yeah, that was really funny, and there were a couple of Brian Tyree Henry's kind of like sardonic dry wit. Some of that worked for me. I never like laughed out loud.
me neither.
Um,
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting to laugh in this film. Kong
yeah,
Skull Island actually had that humor, and it surprised me. I wasn't expecting it. Going into this movie, I wasn't expecting that. So the humor, wasn't that big of a disappointment for me. But some jokes did fall flat.
yeah. A lot of them.
Let's talk about the final battle. I want to talk about how Adam Wingard said specifically, there will be a winner. So do
Yes.
you think that we got that winner in this film?
Right after the film, I would have said no. But now thinking about it, I mean, he used his words very carefully. He said there will be a winner. You could infer Godzilla won because Kong
Mhm.
kind of stood down, and that's the only thing. But no, I think that it wasn't as promised. I was hoping for something a little more concrete, but at the same time, I didn't want either of them to die. Really,
Right.
what did you think?
Yeah, so I definitely think that Godzilla did win. But then they had Kong, kind of take over and beat the crap out of the Mecha Godzilla. So then to me, he's like the winner in that battle.
Yeah,
Um, to be honest, like I just felt it was very predictable. I was like, when we found out about the Mecha Godzilla, I'm like, okay, like a pretty 100% sure Mecha Godzilla is going to come in, and then these two are going to stop fighting and then beat the Mecha
yeah,
Godzilla, and that's
Th-
exactly what happened.
yep. Just like on Batman vs Superman. I do think that this did it better than Batman vs
They did,
Superman.
they did.
Yeah. And So, but yeah, the Mecha Godzilla was beating the crap out of Godzilla.
Hmm.
Like, really, yeah. And then I was like, okay, yeah, Kong's gonna come up. And also, Alexander Skarsgård, I thought he was sacrificing himself. I thought that was the whole point of him getting it, but nope, he just could run away, I guess. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
really thought he was sacrificing himself. I'm like, that's a cop out. Like, someone
yeah,
needs to die here.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the battle though was really well done. It was awesome. It looked really well, and it was well lit. It wasn't in the dark. I mean, it was at night, but you had all the lights from all the buildings. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
we
very, yeah.
definitely had an issue with King of the Monsters when it came to the lighting.
Yes.
And they definitely learned their lessons from all of the previous films' issues when it came to showing us a lot of action, a lot of monster on monster action. We definitely got that here. It was extremely well lit. The CGI was fantastic. So a lot of those things were fixed. It's still that human character part.
Yes. And I don't know if they'll ever do that, right? Because it's like we don't want the human characters anyway. We just want the monsters fighting. But you
That's what
need,
I think. If they have one character, not this whole ensemble cast, they just have one character
yeah,
that's like the lead, the hero of the story. I think that they could do that right. Just a lot of character development with that one character rather than having this ridiculous ensemble of talented actors who are completely wasted. Another thing is that I'm interested in asking you about. So, as a Team Kong, are you happy with the way that it ended?
yes, I am happy with the way that it ended. I liked Kong, and he's at his home. I
Mhm.
liked it. I liked how it ended. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you as a Team Kong person, but I was sitting there at the end. I'm like, if I was a Team Godzilla person, I would feel a little bit cheated by this film because it is so Kong centered. The heart is all about Kong, and Godzilla is not in this film a lot. Just for the battles, and then he goes
Yep.
away. So I think and even though technically he's the winner of that one battle, Kong at the end is victorious out of the two. So I think I would have felt cheated as a Godzilla lover.
Yes, yeah, I definitely agree. I would have felt cheated as well. Godzilla was, yeah, he was barely in it, literally for the battles, like you said. The action
Hmm.
scenes, which I do think it's probably harder to do characterization for Godzilla because
Hmm.
Kong now has, of course, sign language, so you could kind of see his point of view more, and he could somewhat talk. So I think it
Yeah.
is probably harder to do a Godzilla focused movie, but yeah, with a name that's Godzilla, literally first in the title,
Hmm.
you barely get any of him.
Yeah. So I definitely, if you haven't seen the film yet, obviously you shouldn't be watching this because it's a spoiler video. But I do think that the Godzilla fans out there are going to be a little disappointed with this one. Okay, Dan, so what are your final thoughts and ranking for Godzilla versus Kong?
I thought this movie looked really good, and I think it fixed a lot of the problems with the monsters that we've been having in the previous Monsterverse movies. The CGI was great. These two characters looked amazing, like they were actually there right in front of you. this is definitely one that I think if you can go to the theaters, try to see it on the biggest screen you can, especially for these battle scenes. But, you go to a monster movie to see monsters fight. You could throw logic out the window if you want to, but definitely should for this. And and I think it delivered. So since it did what its job was, I think I would give this 4 Kong's battle axes out of 5.
Okay, that's a pretty high score. That's good, Dan.
Yeah.
So I agree with a lot of what you have to say. I think it definitely delivered its promise of giving us these epic monster battle scenes, and that is what we're here for. So for that, it definitely gets a kudos from me. I do just have issue with everything else besides the action scenes, though. Once again, action scenes are great. They're beautifully shot. The CGI is amazing, but if you take everything else that's surrounding those battle scenes, I just don't think there's much else here to the film. So for that, I'm going to be giving Godzilla vs. Kong 3 Kong battle axes out of 5. I think it delivers on its promise, so it's definitely worth seeing, but I don't know if I'll ever revisit it again. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching.
Make sure to go down below and like this video, comment on this video. Were you Team Kong or Team Godzilla? Did that change after the movie? Comment down below. Blow those comment sections up.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.